And hello, Shark fans, your beloved soldier of the inverted cross, Rip, the full-blown freak show, here for a special of, well, it's not Rip's Robot Mode reviews or Rip's random reviews. It's just, you've probably heard me mention, or if you've seen my video reviews for Overkill, and has mentioned his team, the Carnagecons. This is a big review of Overkill's entire team, as well as showing him. As you can see, back here I've cleared this shelf off because my Combiner Wars Devastator has shipped. Unicron is now up there. And Devastator's going here along with my custom painted Leader Class Age of Extinction, Grimlock, Classics Optimus, and Gorger Classic Magnetron. So let's go and get down to the review. Let me give a little backstory here. If you guys have seen Overkill's review, you know this. Basically, Overkill and his team were part of a Decepticon unit that were going to other planets to search for Energon, hunt down Autobots, etc. And if you were to put this in a timeline, it would take place shortly after Fall of Cybertron, so after Megatron and the Autobots and the Decepticons all went through the portal space bridge. Basically, they were looking for Energon to help fuel Cybertron. They crashed on the planet. The tyrant that ruled that planet tore them apart and rebuilt them as monsters that, not monsters, but as more powerful robots, I guess, monster robots or something. And basically, they escaped before he could like mess with their brains and force them to be his slaves, and they killed him and made their way back to Cybertron. So let's get on to the review. First off is the Fembot of the group. All these are made using Hero Factory sets, so sorry if they're not like legit Transformers, that's the thing. Now, this girl's name is Cyanide. I made her from Brain Attack breeds, and she's basically the same except I've extended the legs. She's got some grenades back here, some spikes on her knees, a con symbol on her leg, 2 new swords. I think these swords came with her, but they're on her back, kind of like as a shoulder pauldron. Her shield, saw blade shield, is on her back. This is a bigger piece. It's from the Breeze 2.0, and the way I explain this is Cyana's so fast in battle that Overkill says she moved like a breeze. So that's how I explained that. There's some spikes in the boots that weren't there before. These are new. I gave her the scorpion head shoulder pauldron. Nothing else really special to note about it. She's got a pair of the Hero Factory. Hero Factory handcuffs back here. But basically, her Transformer is a Decepticon. Her story is her name's Cyanide. Her blades are dipped in a poison that can disable Cybertronians, and same with her shield. Her armor is actually coated in it, and her visor allows her to see weak points in armor and scan for internal damage inside her teammates. So if Overkill were to get injured, she could see how badly injured he was. She's a pretty vital member of their team. I'm not going to have articulation because these things are Legos. You know, they're brutally opposable. Let me get her to stand. There we go. Next teammate is, I can't remember for sure what I named this guy back when I come up with the idea, but I think, don't hold me to it, but I think it was Riptide. And I think the character in Hero Factory was called Aquagon. Now, there's not much changed here, except I gave him the bicep swivel with using the to open and ball joint. And I used the 2 whips I had from the 2 Voltix sets that I've got to make tentacles to make it look more aquatic. Basically, this guy's a scout, and he's a bit out of place on the team because there's not any water for him to swim in, but he can also, his armor, it can withstand swimming through straight up Energon. So a lot of the time, he hunts or you stalk spies on Autobots by swimming in the energon pools on Cybertron. And the tentacles, he uses as well, they're like his natural actual tentacles now. So he actually can like grab Autobots out of a energon and drag them in and kill them. Not much I changed from this model, like I said, other than I put one of these pieces, like the fist pieces that came with the first Hero Factory sets, on his back, and the bicep swivel and the tentacles. He's not the most impressive member of the team at all. And just adjusting him now. Okay, reaching for another. Let's see. This is one of my favorite members of Overkill's unit. His name is Dissector, and I made him from Brain Attack. I can't think of this guy's name in the set, but he was a scarab beetle thing. I didn't like what Lego had done by putting these arms, connecting them to this. So basically, he had a regular arm and then this jutted and go. So I took one of these ball joint pieces and just made him another set of arms. This guy's bark fee is he's the same size as Aquagon, but he's the smallest due to the fact that he doesn't have the tentacles to give him extra height or anything. So basically, he's the smallest one on the team, but he's also the fastest. His weapons are his fangs and his natural knife hands things, claws. And basically, he got his name Dissector because now he's so fast that he rushes at Autobots, leaps onto them, and starts just tearing them apart with these. And the fangs he uses to, like, he doesn't have venom, I guess. I haven't really ever thought about him having venom. He's just, like, I suppose, like a scarab beetle. But basically, he can just bite through metal, like really thick armor. He's actually one of my favorites. He looks really nice and really cool, especially with the arm upgrades. Next is, and basically all the last three guys are huge hulking beasts, but this guy is what you consider the brute of the bunch, and I haven't really given this guy a proper name. I think Bruiser was the toy's name. But I don't think I ever gave him a proper name. I'll probably go with something like I don't know, something maybe along the line. I'll have to think of a rock-based name. But he's made from Bruiser, heavily updated with bigger legs, bigger arms. This arm has claws on it. This arm just has the straight up like fingers. And basically what it is, this arm is just what he punches with. This arm is what he cuts through metal with. He's heavily armored. He's basically extremely slow compared to the other members of the team, but he can really take a beating. He can pretty much take any fire, like cannon fire, even from Megatron's fusion cannon. I like the way this one turned out. It's a much better improvement on the original toy, because the original toy I wasn't a big fan of. I loved the mold and idea of it, but I just didn't like how it was small and didn't have like a lot of armor, and there was a gimmick for one arm. This is much better. And the next team member, I think we've got two left. One is Overkill, obviously, but the other teammate is Overkill's second in command, Glacius, aka he's named after the guy from Killer Instinct, the ice dude. This guy's made from Frost Beast, and he's pretty much the same size as Overkill. And this is Glacius. He's one of my favorites. He's tied with Overkill for my favorite MOC. This guy is a lot different than the original toy. The body build and upper arm is the same. I will say that. I added an extender joint here. It's the piece from Galley's shoulder. When I modified her, I didn't need them on her anymore, so it gave him bigger arms. His weapon this is his original weapon. These came off the Gotorian Ice Guy. I can't think of his name. It wasn't Strax. The axe is from Strax, but it's the second wave guy. Back here on the legs, these are from Strax. No, these are from the other guy. can't think of his name. He's the other Ice Glatorian that they made. Basically, what I did was I took these white pieces you see right here. Well, you see it better on this leg, and punched it in one of those longer pegs, and then pegged this onto the back. So he now has like ice boots. It looks like a Mega Man-esque character. Nothing else really different about him other than in this hand I put one of those like pegs that you use to connect the claw bits to, and I had one of these left over, so now it looks like you can make an ice effect with it in his hand. The other thing I usually have him hold is the skull, kind of like Overkill holds. Basically, this guy is Overkill's second in command. He's loyal. He's not like Starscream or anything. He's not going to try to overthrow Overkill. And his axe can cut through basically armor pretty easily, and his ice, he can make ice on the ground using where he walks, or just make ice in general, however he chooses to do so. And it can cause enemies to slip or be stuck to the ground. And the other thing I added here, I forgot to mention, on the back I added this piece to fill out the torso, and I added a light blue icy looking pipe through his body to give him a more robotic appearance. He's really cool, and he obviously is the second in command. Like if something were to happen to Overkill, he would be ready to take charge and lead them to victory. Last and definitely not least, Overkill. Now you've already seen this MOC, and I haven't done anything different, but he deserves to be here because his team is here. Overkill basically is the leader. He doesn't carry a weapon. He uses his own fist and magma claws to shred armor, cut through armor. He lost his eye in a fight with Ultra Magnus when he got shot point blank in the head. He's also rivals with Grimlock. I know I mentioned some of the other reviews that I made another head for him before the damage happened to his head. Here's that other head I found. And then here's the current head. This one looks better, so I just leave it on him. Overkill is pretty loyal to Decepticon. He's not going to betray Megatron or anything. He's extremely loyal to his team, kind of like Grimlock is to the Dinobots. And he was the first to break free when they escaped from the Tyrant on their planet. I mean, not on the planet, but the planet they crashed on. And before he would leave the planet, he hunted down and found all his teammates. And he still keeps the chains on his body that had him bound while the other guys removed theirs. He refuses to forget what happened on that planet. And basically, his natural strength in this form is his weapon. He just can crash through anything. He can lift extremely heavy transformers, even combiners, some combiners. And basically, this guy, or this unit, the Carnagecons, he named them that because even before they got converted to these bodies, they were pretty brutal. They just pretty much ripped everyone apart. Imagine what Grimlock does to Decepticons, but 10 times worse. And this is I might do a slideshow of them with their current mission. This is just a little idea I came up with. Devastator has gone rogue. Something's happened, and he's malfunctioned. And now he's roaming Cybertron, killing Autobots and Decepticons. Megatron has dispatched the Carnagecons to stop Devastator. And I might, when I get my Combiner Wars Devastator, I might actually do a slideshow just of different poses of them with Devastator. Dragon Bolt, the Dragon Bolt MOC I did was originally one of their teammates, but I ended up swapping him out or cutting him from the team because I didn't want them to have any flyers on their team. I kind of wanted them to have be the ground unit, to have to I don't know, I'm trying to think how to word it, because if I ever do make these guys into a combiner, Glacius would be the arm. I mean, not Glacius, Overkill and Glacius would form the torso. Riptide and Cyanide would form the, or Riptide and dissector would form the. Wait, let me start over. I've confused myself now. Okay. Dissector and Cyanide would form the arms. Overkill and Glacius would form the torso, sorta. Glacius would also contribute to one of the legs. Aquagon would finish the rest of that leg up. And Bruiser, or whatever I want to name him, the rock guy, would form the other leg. Now, I mean, I'd have to have all these sets over again, plus 3 of the Pyrox set, because that's what I made Overkill from. So the odds of that ever happening, because I'm not taking these guys apart to make it, is not a high outcome that's going to happen. But I mean, it'd be cool to see some fan art of what it would look like, and I might do that eventually, or attempt to do that. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm not going to promise a slideshow on this one, but I might try. I might try to get a slideshow made of this, especially with Devastator. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Sorry for the parts, so I rambled a bit. I just had to remember all the information I wrote down about these guys when I made them. My two favorites of this team would either be Dissector. Well, Dissector is definitely my favorite of the small ones, but Glacius and Overkill are just awesome. I mean, they look like they could be brothers if they were like in the Bionicle series, like Ice and Fire. So again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'm glad to see a lot of people are enjoying my MOCs a lot more than I normally would get. I mean, there's still like a high number of views, but I mean, I've got like 200 some reviews on my first Makuta and Takanuka review. So I'm really glad that people are enjoying those. And thanks for watching. There'll be a review coming up for Combiner Wars Devastator as soon as I get him and as soon as I have the chance to review him. Until next time, this has been your beloved soldier of the Inverted Cross, Rip the Full Bun Freak Show, signing off. Farewell.